Hey, Casket here. Next up, pork country style ribs on the Master Forge propane smoker. A super simple recipe. You gotta check this out. So here we have some pork bone-in country style ribs. I picked these up today at Sam's Club. They're running $1.42 a pound, so this is a little over 6 pounds, 6.38 pounds to be exact. So less than 10 bucks. I got a good plate of ribs here to do on the smoker. I'm not using my stick burner. I'm not using my ugly drum smoker. Today we're gonna dust off the Master Forge propane 2-door smoker, and we're gonna use that today. I'm using apple wood, and this is gonna be a simple recipe. I'm gonna start by rinsing them off. I'm going to coat them with a little bit of vegetable oil, and then I'm going to sprinkle with some of my rub that I like. I'll put the description down below of the ingredients of the rub that I tend to use, and we're going to go for probably maybe a couple of hours, and then we're going to put them in a dish of glaze made with some barbecue sauce, some honey, some pineapple juice, and then we're going to finish them off in that pan of glaze. So let's get started. We're going to rinse the ribs. I like to rinse all my meat. I don't want any bone dust or anything like that in there. So I start off by rinsing. I'll pat them dry. We'll put some oil on them and then sprinkle them, and then we'll go out and put them in the smoker. So I don't have any vegetable oil, but I do have some canola oil. That's what I'm using. And we'll make sure we get all the sides coated with some oil. I think that'll help to retain the moisture and help to keep them juicy, and it'll also act as a glue for the rub that I'm going to put on it. Alright, let's put some rub on it. And again, I'll put the recipe for this particular rub that I like down below. You can use whatever you like. You can use your favorite rub. It doesn't matter, whatever your taste preference is. Also, you may not have known, but Sam's Club will, if you ask them, if you go there to buy some ribs, if you want them to trim your ribs St. Louis style, they will do it for you. If you're having a party or you're having a big get-together, and you're going to have a number of ribs on the smoker, you can also pre-order days in advance to have your ribs trimmed however you like them, St. Louis style, for example, and they'll do that for you. Okay. Let's go out and fire up the smoker. So here we are, we got the Master Forge 2-door propane smoker, and we're coming up. Well, the door gauge says a little over 200. The actual internal temperature is 113, so these are pretty inaccurate. So I'm going to add some Sprite to my water pan, and I'm going to use apple wood for my smoke. Let's put that in now. Okay, put some Sprite in the water pan. I apologize for the background noise. My neighbor is getting a roof next door. So if you hear that banging and noise and yelling, they're getting a new roof, which is cool. Okay, let's bring this up to temp. I'm going to remove these racks and place the ribs on them and then put them in the smoker. That'll save heat loss when I go to put the ribs in the smoker, so that's why I'm doing it that way. So at this point I have transferred the ribs onto the smoker racks, and as soon as the smoker comes up to temp, which I'm shooting between 225 and 250 degrees, we'll slide these in. It'll be quick so I won't lose too much heat, and we'll begin the smoke. Okay, the smoker's up to temp. Let's take a look. Running 244 in the smoke chamber. She's been running for about 45 minutes. Let's put the ribs on. So while the ribs are out in the smoker, let's put together the sauce. I've made barbecue sauce, but honestly, if I'm going to buy over-the-counter barbecue sauce, I really love Stubb's, especially their hickory sweet barbecue sauce. Man, that stuff is really good. So we're going to use 2 bottles of that. We're going to use a little bit of honey, and we're going to thin it out with about 10 ounces of pineapple juice. We'll mix it up and we'll put it in this pan here, and then we'll transfer the ribs to that pan during the last hour or so and finish them up. So let's put together the sauce. Okay, let's start with 2 bottles of your favorite barbecue sauce. About 10 ounces or so of pineapple juice. And a couple tablespoons of honey. And we'll mix this together, and we'll have this ready. We'll have this ready for our ribs to cook in. We're going to look for about 150 degrees on the ribs. I'm going to check the temperature in about another hour and a half. They should be very close to that temperature. So about 150, we'll transfer them into the pan, foil it, and then finish them off. We'll thin it out just a little bit more. That's good. If you wanted to add a little heat to this, you could put in some red pepper flakes if you like. I'm not going to, but however you want. Whatever flavor you're looking for, you can tweak this to what you like to do. And you can always test it to see if it's what you like. Man, that's good. That is really good. Okay. Okay. We're ready to go when the ribs have reached about 150 degrees. So here we are at the 2-hour mark. I apologize for the wind. It's pretty windy out here. This thing's been just holding steady at 250 degrees. It's been 2 hours. Let's take a look. See what they look like. I'm going to take a temperature check in just a moment, but let's look at them first. Okay, looking good. I may rotate the racks. Might be a good idea. And I'm going to add a little more fluid to the water pan down here. That's actually Sprite I have in there, and you can see the sugar is starting to caramelize as it's boiling down. Okay, I'm going to add some water here. Alright, let's take a look at the internal temperature. It's about 144. Almost 160. They're starting to feel tender, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to let them go until they're closer to about 180. I want to get that collagen broke down, and that will tenderize the meat significantly. So let's let them go just probably another half hour to 45 minutes, and we'll check them again. The temperature's there. I think they just need to go just a little bit longer to get the tenderness. Okay, we're just a little over 3 hours. Let's see what the tenderness looks like here. Oh wow, that's much better, much better, much better. Let's see what we're running. Temp wise, that's 180. Yeah, they're oh yeah, that's really good. Yeah, letting them go that extra hour, even though we had the internal temperature where it needs to be, just bringing it up to about 180 really made a difference in the tenderness. And if you notice down here, a little while ago I put the sauce in here to start the preheat. And so now let's transfer the ribs into the sauce and cover them. Okay, we're gonna oh yeah, these things are tender, they're ready, they're ready to eat now. But we're gonna put them in here and let them go for about another hour. It's gonna get a little crowded. I probably should add a bigger pan, but we'll make it work. We will make it work. Cover them tightly, like that. And we'll put them in here for a good hour. And we'll be back and check them out. So I've started a bed of charcoals in my smoker. And very shortly I'm going to pull the ribs off the Master Forge gas smoker, and I'm going to caramelize them for a couple of minutes on these charcoals, and they'll be ready to go. Okay, so we just pulled the pork ribs out of the Master Forge smoker, and we're going to caramelize just a minute or two on each side on the charcoal here. All right, they're about done. You want to be careful not to burn them. One last mop. Good. Okay, let's look at the finished product. We finally had to get out of that wind. You know, it's December 28th, and we're in southeastern Michigan. We've had a super warm December, and right now, I mean, it's been 56 degrees most of the afternoon. But the winds rolled in later this afternoon, so it's been hard to hear. I apologize about that, but here we are. Let's take a look. Okay, moment of truth. Country style pork ribs. Let's check them out. These are excellent. You know, I let them go the extra hour, and I brought the temp up to around 180 to 185 degrees, and it really broke down that collagen, and I think it really helped. Even though we met the temperature criteria at 165, let them going that extra hour, and really made a difference. These are really good. Easy recipe, excellent results. Give it a try. Hey, if this video was helpful to you and you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and please leave comments below. I like to hear positive or negative comments. I appreciate all input. So until next time, happy smoking.